What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of This is Oklahoma. Mike Hearn here, your host, up in Guthrie, America today. The greatest town in Oklahoma, definitely in America. Has to be done that. Come on.
It does.
My guest today, I guess after basically just being around you for 30 minutes and seeing people walk by you and know you and cars stop, you're probably Mr. Guthrie, right? Do people call you Mr. Guthrie?
People do, but I think we have a lot of Mr. Guthrie.
Yeah, definitely.
Mr. and Mrs. Guthrie, people who just love the town, and we just have this way of making sure that we're interacting with one another. But I do tell people, because people think that you know everybody in small town. I'm like, there's 12,000 people here. I don't know everybody,
right?
But the people who are active in the community, in a sense of, I know
bringing people here. Yeah. Well, welcome to the podcast, everybody. I'm going to introduce Mr. Heady Coleman, community builder is in the Instagram profile. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I didn't have that there originally, but somebody said, you should have community builder in your Instagram profile, because one of the things so I go out and speak, and so if somebody invites me out to speak, it's typically around community. For example, when people stopping, me knowing the kids, that's just my thing. Guthrie America, when I started it was just all about how do we connect people so we can have this sense of community, because I believe that community wins. When we all come together and we're working together, that's when we get the wins in life. And so I started just kind of looking at that more and more, and I was like, you know what, I'm cool with saying I'm a community builder, and I think it just makes it easier for people to find me when they're looking for that particular topic or whatever. Yeah.
So let's go back a little bit. So how do you get to here? How do you get to Guthrie? How do you get to Oklahoma?
Yep, so I'm from Guthrie.
Okay.
Born in Oklahoma City, though, and then shipped directly to Guthrie.
Yeah.
And have been in Guthrie through my high school, graduated, then left for a little while. And I probably about 12 years ago, my wife, who is also from Guthrie, we both moved back here because we wanted to be in a smaller town. Mm-hmm. And we said, why not come back home? And so that's how we ended up back home, so I say. I've always been from Guthrie.
Yeah.
My mother graduated from here. My mom went to Langston University, graduated from there. That's where my mom and dad met, was at Langston, which is just a few minutes from here.
Street. Yeah.
And so yeah, man, I'm a Blue Jay.
Yeah.
Through and through. You cut me open, I get little Blue Jays just fly out of me. So this is my place.
Dossie, growing up here, you big family?
So I'm the only child by my mom.
Okay.
I have two brothers. I have a brother and sister, half brother and sister, but my brother and sister, we don't say half brother and sister. And then my mom's family are from here. And so, but my mom, going back to big, small family, my mom has 12 siblings.
Wow.
So, and I'm the oldest grandchild, so I'm almost like the 14th brother.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my father-in-law is one of 10. So I definitely know how you feel about that one.
Like we just had Christmas, and so we get a room down, one of the big conference rooms down at the Embassy Suites in Norman. Because this year was kind of low on number. We had about 60 people. And so,
I guess Thanksgiving as well as chaos too, right?
Well, Thanksgiving we kind of all do our own.
Oh, that's okay.
So you go with your in-laws and things like that. Yeah. So we just do it in my house here in Guthrie as far as Thanksgiving.
So did you go to Langston as well?
I spent some time at Langston. I went to Langston for about a year, and then I ended up leaving because I did AmeriCorps.
Okay.
So AmeriCorps is like, have you heard of Peace Corps?
Yeah.
Okay, so Peace Corps, you go somewhere in the world and you serve in that wherever. But AmeriCorps is where you focus on something here in America. Okay. And so my focus was literacy, and I helped adults who were functionally illiterate learn how to read.
Right.
And so when you do that, you have to leave college. So when you serve your year in AmeriCorps, you have to leave college. And so I left, and then I never went back to Langston. I got my associates from Oklahoma City Community College, and just kind of.
So was that kind of like the catalyst to like fueling your love for just community building and serving, or was that something that just kind of?
I think the thing that fueled me as far as just wanting to touch people and connect people was probably my faith. And when I became a believer, it was just something where I was like, man, I just want to connect to all people. Not even so much about preaching or doing any of that, but just loving on people and getting people to come together. Because again, I just think that when we're working together, we have a better chance for everybody to have the best success.
So when was that? When did you accept? When was that time of like faith in your life and kind of really diving into that?
Yeah, so my grandfather was a pastor. So all of my life I've been around. I was probably 7 when I accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. Then it wasn't probably until about 22, 23 that I was like, you know, if I'm going to do this, I need to really get serious about like, what does this really look like? And that's when I just really started growing in my faith, jumping in God's word and being consistent in doing that. And from that, I think I don't think the greatest commandment is to love people. And so I just started really working hard at how do I love people. And so it's been great.
And naturally kind of took to speaking and stuff like that and just being around. Because it's not like I said, it's not something that, and that's how we met, right?
Yeah.
I did my first kind of talk at Creative Mornings.
Yeah.
Was shaking along. Was really
you did a great job.
I appreciate that. It's like, you know, and it helped because I was talking about my life, right?
Yes.
Story. That definitely helps rather than talking
Yes.
about a topic. You know, but like, people who are very good at talking just seem very natural at it. But if sometimes you ask them, like I have a friend who's really good at it, he's a pastor too. He's like, I worked really hard for this. But you have a lot of people, and I sense that you were just naturally good at it.
Yeah. If you would say that I'm good, I'm one of those people who are like, I don't know if I'm good at it, you know. And so I don't work as hard as most people. Yeah. So I think some of it's just charisma. Like I just have this way with people, and I just have a kind of a big personality, so to speak. Yeah. So I think that helps to where it's like I don't have to be the best speaker because I'm just gonna have a big smile. I'm gonna talk to everybody in the room. Yeah. So now people gravitate to you when you're on stage, and so for example, when I introduced you at Creative Morning, like I'm greeting people. So everybody that came through the door, I'm touching, right? So when I go to the mic, people are like, "Oh, that's the guy who high-fived me." Yeah, love me. So that's kind of my take on it. But the reason I ended up getting into public speaking for the most part was because I hosted an event called We Tell Stories in Oklahoma City. Okay. Where Counts 1910 is on 10th Street. It used to be Java Dave's, and I hosted that event for maybe 10 years or so, off and on, 10 to 15 years. And from that, we were building community again, bringing people together, connecting people. And people just saw me in that because I emceed it for the longest. And so people saw me in front of people, saw that, you know, I did well with a crowd. And so people then started kind of inviting me from there.
When was that? What year was that?
Oh, my goodness. I started that 2000.
So you've been in this for almost probably 20 years.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's because
been a lot of fun. It seems like I said, people who know you or people are going to see your name, they're like, that just like resonates, smiling and happiness and just a bubbly personality, right? So you've basically been making people happy for the last 20 years.
That's the goal. Yeah. You know, like I always tell people my dream job is just to go greet at events. Yeah. And just create an atmosphere before people get in. You know. Yeah.
So how do you turn what you do then into, like, you know, greeting people at events is great, right? But you've also got to pay the bills. Yeah. And I'm sure having a wife and family and everything else, and you know, you're like, I love playing golf. I wish I could play golf every day. Yes. But I wouldn't make any money on it, you know. So how did you go about, you know, deciding that this is what I want to do, and you know, not work, I guess, your average day job and office job?
Yeah, I think there's always, so my father's an entrepreneur, much better than, I will never be as good as an entrepreneur in the sense of like generating the income to make it happen every month, because every month you got to find a way to pay your bills. He does it like nobody's business, but being around that, seeing that and understanding that if I'm going to be able to go greet and do those things, I'm going to have to figure out how I can make mine. Grow my own income, or have someone hire me and be like, we just love what you do. We're going to give you a flexible schedule and kind of go from there. But public speaking does, you know, when people invite me out to speak, that's something where like next week I'll fly to Arizona, I'll go speak at ODOT, and then, you know, the next 3 weeks or whatever, I may not go speak anywhere again. So during that time, I'm a pastor of a church, so I serve the church in that way. But I just knew that I just probably could never work a regular 8 to 5. Right. Like it just.
I don't think they'd enjoy you being there.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're so happy every day. It's Monday, it's 8 o'clock. Just come out from Christmas break. I don't want to see anyone right now. You bounce in, public personality. Hey, what's up? Leave me alone.
Yeah. So, but I mean, if I had to, I would.
Yeah.
And I would make the best. And I have, at 8 to 5. So
what was it like when you first got that paid speaking gig?
Some of it is like, really, they're gonna pay me to come talk.
You actually want to pay me? Okay, all right. You're flying me around the country.
But what I began to learn was like, not everybody can do it,
right?
And people need people to come into their lives for that moment to either instruct them on something, to motivate them, to generate ideas. For guidance, coaching. So you begin to realize, and then I create my own content. So I have to go in, and around that I have my own content. I have a workbook. I have all this, and then I also partner with organizations like Paradigm Shifts, and I go speak on their behalf, utilizing their content and things like that. And so, but yeah, the first time I was like, and then as it increased, I'm like, this is just crazy. And I have friends who get paid way more. It's insane what people will pay you, and I don't push that probably like I should as far as getting out there and speaking. I just kind of let it come to me.
Yeah, but then like I said, when you do it that way, it's more natural, and it's less of a job when it comes to you, rather than you saying, like having other income streams. If this was your only income stream, you probably end up. A lot of speakers just say the same thing over and over again, don't they? They have their 1, 2, 3 talks for the year, and that's it. Same with other artists and stuff too. I think it's definitely just you get a lot more of you by doing it the way that you do it. But it's definitely a nice asset to have. It's something I want to do. I want to build on it for sure.
No, you should. Yeah. And I think the more you have a great story. So figuring out how do you build that story around being able to add value to people is the win. For example, Creative Mornings, you were adding value as you were sharing your story. And that's the key. Yeah,
it was. It went by really fast. I watched it back, and I'm like, and there's always things you wish you wanted to said, but anyway.
I didn't say, or I said too many times, or
and you always whatever it is, you always interpret it the different to how everyone else is, right? Because you know exactly what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
No, I have. I'm excited. I had 2 this month that I'm really looking forward to doing. Short, smaller ones for Rotary clubs, so that's gonna be fun. But I'm just trying to get my foot in the door, and get comfortable doing it, and then figure out the way that's not just telling my story, right? Like you said, you gotta figure out a way to add value. Is that where the motivational side for you comes in then? Was it natural to have the faith and the motivation, and just kind of it all seems to come together?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, I think there's a lot of people in faith that are gonna get up and motivate you. You know what I'm saying? I think for me, I'm a natural encourager. Like that's my thing. Like I try to write 1,000 handwritten notes a year. So it's my thing. I want to greet people. I have a website where people sign up and have me come and greet. And so that's just kind of naturally who I am. Like my wife's not gonna go do that. Even people who speak are not just gonna be quiet
on the door. Saying hello.
But with Go Win, I think that's more than motivation, because now I'm talking to people like, how do you define your win? What is that win you want for your life? And then we talk about how discovering your goal, and that is kind of what are the right things you need to be consistent in to achieve that. And then I talk about the Go Win approach, which are, hey, here are 5 things that I feel like everybody should be consistent in doing, regardless of whatever that thing is that you want to achieve in life. So learning, being around the right people, planning, measuring, sharing your story are things that I was like, everybody needs to do this, and this is what this needs to look like. I also have a superhero list that I have people fill out. And then we talk about Go Win based off your superhero. So I come along, I may motivate, but then also I have things like that.
It's not just like I'm gonna leave this speech and then they're motivated for an hour, and then the next day they wake up and they're back to normal. You have plans.
I have plans
to make it valuable. So Go Win has been around for how long?
So Go Win, oh my goodness, I don't know. So it just started out as the hashtag. So I would just hashtag everybody Go Win, and people start saying, well, what is Go Win? And so then I said, well, let me find the definition. So I created the definition. So I define Go Win as continuing or starting those things that allow for you to achieve the wins you want for your life to live out your greatest story. So I had to definitely say, this is what Go Win means to me. Then it's like, well, what else? And so then I built a workshop around Go Win. So I'll come and spend an hour with you, or we can go all day and we walk through a workbook that kind of helps people essentially put their, I say your story on paper, like the story that you want to live out. Let's put that on paper, because oftentimes we have it in our head, but we don't have it on paper.
Right.
And it's said somewhere. I don't know if it's true or not, but you're more likely to achieve something if you write it down. And so, I just kind of as people begin to ask me about Go Win, I just kind of started putting together. Like, oh, let me see. And I think it was in me. I just had never had anybody ask. So the next thing is probably a book.
Okay.
I've been talking about writing a book. So.
Yeah. I'm amazed you haven't done that yet.
Yeah, no, I have not. That's what most people say that.
Yeah.
So,
but it's not. There's no lack of content here.
I know, but it's the ability to focus and sit down.
I think you'd be much better doing an audiobook, right? Just like, oh, give me a topic. Okay, this chapter's about this.
Let's talk about. And I've thought about that, getting with somebody to
and just doing it like the audiobook first, and then
or they will write it for you. Like I will just talk like that, sit down and almost interview me. Then they'll write it out for me. So I've thought about doing that as well. So we'll see. I also want to do maybe something around community building, like writing a book around that, which would still derive from Go Win. Because the way that I approach life is now based on this whole idea of Go Win. And so what are the right things to be consistent in to build a community? Then what kind of community? And I really started using city, like making sure that people understand, like, so if I live in Guthrie, we naturally say this is the community I live in. But really, I started looking, I was like, there's all sorts of communities within the city. So I'm for my city, I'm for Guthrie America and all that. But then I like this idea of building your community. You know, but there's still the bigger community maybe of Guthrie. So.
No, but I totally understand what you mean, because like you said, it's bringing those smaller communities together, and even if that community starts out as you and your wife and your family or friends, like it just grows. You know, and that's something that's really cool. I'm sure you've met a lot of people and have some amazing stories from that. Like, this is such a cool town. And there's so much history here. And I think it's people who live in Guthrie aren't just like, oh, we just live here just because we live here. They live here because they like to live here. There's a reason they want to be up here, and they don't mind commuting to wherever they go to work. If they don't work here. So. And
we get more and more of that every year. You know, of course, people kind of, and it's not like we're a fast growing community, city, town. But we're growing every year. More people are finding us, and like I just like this small town feel. I like the houses. There's some walkability if you live in the right place. Like I can walk to the grocery store, to my favorite coffee shops, to my office, all that. And that's the reason one of the reasons I enjoy living here is because I can walk everywhere.
What's like when you bring people here? What do you get? I mean, I saw one of your goals this year to bring 25 people to Guthrie. I'm sure you'll get there. Within. I think 6
got
months,
you one.
So we're 24 now. Hopefully by the time this goes out, you'll have a few more. But how do you feel when you bring people to Guthrie?
Oh man, I feel great. Like, there's nothing like getting somebody to take a picture in front of the Guthrie America tees, like you just did, and just sharing that. Just if it's coming here and leaving, like I still brought somebody into my town, and hopefully they come back. You know, and maybe grab coffee at the local coffee shop or go to dinner or something like that. Because typically people will email me like, hey man, is that a great place? I enjoy driving. Some people just driving into Guthrie, especially if they've never done it. It's like, that wasn't a bad drive. And it kind of gave me this opportunity to relax. And then I like the town. Like I like coming into the town. And so once that happens, then people will tell me like, hey, is there a good place? I want to bring my wife down for dinner. Or I want to get a weekend away. And so those kind of things lead to that, because for us as a city, it's important that we get people to come here and spend dollars and things like that. If we want roads, we want our city employees to stay around, be able to give them raises. So all those things go back to the hashtag Choose Guthrie. It's like, not only do we need to choose Guthrie who live here, but we want other people to choose Guthrie periodically, so we can thrive as a community.
It's I interviewed the guys at Dominion House last year.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what they've done there is phenomenal. How it is, and now
Trey and Julie.
Trey, you're right. And I sat down, had dinner with them, and just kind of we chatted and had a tour of the place, and it's a lot of people don't even know it's there.
No, it's unbelievable.
And
it's beautiful.
Incredible.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the restaurant, you you probably went to Bristol. And so, yeah, no, it's great. And we have a few, like, we're not Oklahoma City.
Right.
We don't have gyms everywhere, but we have a few that people enjoy.
Yeah, it is a gym for sure, because you pull up and you think, hang on a second, this is not right, and you walk in and you just see this grand staircase and dinner and it's like, what am I doing here, and then you can come up and stay in bedrooms, and it's a treasure for sure. What else? I was kind of looking through the Instagram and I see that you have recently you're involved in Hope is the Culture. Tell me about that. Because I know a lot of the guys are in that.
Yeah. And I think those guys are just looking for an opportunity to make a difference in their city.
Okay.
And so they really want to bring this idea of creating hope, like letting that be a part of the culture. And and they just kind of invited me to be a part of that on their launch day of kicking that off. And so just a bunch of great guys who've been doing great work for years in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
So it's just cool, and I was honored to be able to come out there and greet and kind of just hang out and be around that event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it looks, because obviously you have, Scott was there, Williams, right, and then Les was there, and I hope I get to sit down with both of those this year, and then Vernon from Group Fly.
Yeah.
And I'm probably missing some as well. There's a lot.
Oh yeah, Cadence was there, David Skidmore, Wes Lane, Todd from Eote Coffee. There's a lot of people who are doing some really cool stuff.
I'm sure it's amazing to see this stuff come up. You've been doing this for so long, and now to just see others take to it and others do it, like it's it's kind of like it's infectious, and seeing people do this stuff.
Well, and I think it goes back. So We Tell Stories was an event that we did for a number of years, and it's just amazing to see from that event the relationships that are now today that they probably would say it's because of We Tell Stories that I'm now friends. Les is friends with Vernon, and Sean Johnson is friends. Scott Williams and I know each other because of We Tell Stories. Yeah. I know all of those guys. It was essentially probably because of We Tell Stories, and one, it created a brand awareness for me, like people began to know who I was, but also it began to let other people know who each other were, and they formed relationships and friendships. And now that I even think about it, like, I'm 45. Some of those guys were like early 20s. I don't think I realized how young they were when I was around them, and I was young too. But so it's a cool, and I think like if there's a legacy that I will have left, I think that's it. Yeah. Being able to connect those people. Right. Sean Johnson, I don't know if you know who Sean Johnson
I don't think
is,
so.
but he is an artist, and his first time ever performing, one of his early first time, I want to say it may have been his first time performing with a band, was that We Tell Stories. And now he's got 2 million streams on Spotify in 2019. And so to be able to see those kind of things and are just, Vernon, when the early days of Group Fly, like coming and selling stuff at We Tell Stories, Cadence, when, there's just so much there.
But it's great that you can tie it back to like people that you met and the things that you were doing, and then bringing all these people together. And like I said, now when they meet, they go off and do stuff. And you're doing the right thing. Yeah. Well, you definitely want to try. Yeah. And I think just being a person who's like, man, I don't want to mess it up too bad. You just you just try to do the best you can and live life, and but yeah, man, just love people. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's just treating people good the best you can. Is going to always be the win, at least for me. So you said you're 45. You've been doing this, for a very long time, and everyone would say that 45 is probably middle aged. What do you see, like, how, I guess, the next kind of 20 years? What's the plan? Where's like, because it's 45, 55, 60. I always say that when I turn 60, I want to have built enough credibility or influence that people want to fly in the Guthrie and just come learn. Like, we just do go-in workshops here where we just helping people build city and community and lives that go back and they just tell the greatest story. And so that's the goal. Okay.
That's the goal, is just to keep making a difference and impacting people little by little. And hopefully by 60, because then at that time I'll have grandchildren. That's when I'm gonna need the most money, right?
You're gonna spoil those grandkids.
Right now I'm just chilling. My kids are, I have one son that's 21. I have a 14-year-old, a 12-year-old daughter, and right now it's not quite as we can do just with our basic needs. But when I start having grandkids and they start getting married, I want to be like my dad and have the whole family come out and go to Disney World and do all those different kind of things. I pay for all the dinners when we sit down and go hang out. And but I want to have created something here, or be a part of creating something here in our city that my kids want to come back. Small towns is hard for kids to be like, man, I want to stay here. Like everybody's looking to jet out of here. Yeah. So one of my big goals too is just to create something here in our city that my kids want to stay.
So a lot more about legacy then.
Yeah,
What you're doing, but more about legacy.
I can't take money with me to heaven.
Yeah, I love telling my wife that when I want to buy something. She hates me for that.
And that's not understanding the value of money, but there's nothing greater than relationships.
Yeah.
In part of when I think about legacy, it's kind of how do you make the biggest impact on people's lives, and you can do that. You can do that with money as well, but I'm trying to do it the poor man's way.
Yeah.
So
smiles and hugs. Yeah. High fives. Everyone knows Heady. Definitely get a high five. Yeah.
Yeah. So
what's the kids think of everything? So I assume that you, like you were saying, your wife's not going to go and greet people. Are you the bubbly personality, and your wife's kind of more reserved and behind the scenes?
Yeah, so I'm pretty laid back at home. I mean, we get pretty loud and crazy, but my son, Zell, my middle son, is probably the most like me.
Okay.
My oldest son and my youngest daughter are like mom. They're pretty reserved. They're not trying to go in. But my daughter is a fabulous, let me just show you. But my daughter is a fabulous artist.
Okay.
And so they all have their own giftings, but this is one of those gifts that you can like pull out a phone and show people, because the funny thing is whenever she first started drawing, she would bring me a picture or something and I'd be like, oh my goodness, that's amazing. And she'll walk away. I'm like, honey, what? She traces really good. I thought she was tracing, and so.
Oh no way.
Yeah, and so.
And so this is the youngest one.
Yeah, she's the youngest.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah, she's got a gift, because I can't do that.
I can't do that. And then my middle son, he's like president of the student council. He spoke at the conference this year, and I think he's starting to gravitate to that and does really good at that. So I'm really trying to help him grow in that. And then my oldest son is just one of these deep thinkers and almost like psychologist kind of thing. And so they all have their strengths, and as a parent, you just want to serve them in a way that they can blossom in that.
Right. And I think definitely growing up here must be so different than growing up anywhere else, because especially in the city, because when we're walking in, we're at the office, there's two girls outside riding around on skateboards. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen that for 10 plus years. Barefoot as well, which is nuts. It's 38 degrees outside. Get two young girls skating past me. I'm like, hang on a second. This is it's such a it's an outdoors town. It's get out and have fun and enjoy. Especially the community is great. But how was that like parenting the kids here, knowing that you don't have to kick them out of the house because they're on their PlayStation all the time. Mm-hmm. It's kind of in the culture to just be outside.
Well, I mean, we still experience some of that, but it's definitely a place to where you highly encourage, like, just go. Yeah. Like, you can walk, just go. Just, because that's the way I grew up when I grew up here. And so that's fun, but you still fight technology. Technology is a beast, and I don't fight it, because I kind of embrace, because that's where it's going, right?
Right.
And so there's no need of kind of fighting it, but I still want them to understand. Like my son got a longboard, so we went longboarding and we do those kind of things. My daughter is a nature person, so she likes animals and goes outside and digs in dirt, and little by little they just kind of gravitate to their main thing at this age.
Yeah. What is it like, I guess, as a parent to see like, your son speaking at a conference and just kind of doing stuff like that. And I guess like I said, he's more of like the quiet, reserved one, but he's still up on stage speaking.
Well, he's more like me. He's the more
okay.
Yeah. My oldest son though, he would be on stage though, but
so the middle one was up.
The middle stage, yeah. But he was still nervous in that. Like there was like 700, 800 kids, students in there. So, but that was exciting. I tell people like for me that was like a parent watching their son run a touchdown.
Yeah.
Or dunk a basketball so I was super proud.
Yeah, definitely. I can see I definitely can see that.
Yeah.
Just to, like you said, you've been doing it for so long, and just to see, you get to be in the audience for once, and then it's your child that's there, right? And you kind of had an influence on it. Yeah. You've probably given them a few tips here and there.
Yeah.
I'm sure, like, family, wives crying or whatever. Like, that's my mom cried when she watched my video. I was like, why? She's like, I was crying.
We didn't cry, but it was exciting. And for most people think that like, oh, I want to be on stage, and that may be some of the reason I don't work as much to do it more, because I don't have to be on stage. I'd rather greet than be on stage. Yeah. Even though you're gonna get paid way more probably doing that than greeting. Yeah. But I'd rather just greet and corral the audience and make sure the lonely people are being connected with and things like that than being on stage.
Why is that? Is that something just from a young age was like you did and was normal? Or did you see other people do it?
Just kind of the one to be corralling and
just make sure everyone's doing well, and because I'm sure everyone feels the same way, right? Everyone wants everyone to be happy and feel welcomed, but not many people will go up to that person who sat on their own and speak to them. Like no one does that. It's kind of, everyone sees it as weird. Yeah. So it definitely takes a special type of person to do that.
Yeah. No. Again, I think, and I would hope all people who say that they're believed, like, you begin to really value every individual. And if a person's by themselves, that doesn't speak very good for their own in a community or people being involved in their lives. And so I just always have been intentional about doing that. One of my really good friends is Derek Sire, and Derek first came to We Tell Story, and he was sitting by himself. And I just went over there and started talking to Derek. And imagine if I never would have went to talk to Derek. Derek and I wouldn't have the story that we have today if I was not that person to do that. And even at We Tell Stories, that was the main thing. Like, you had to tell somebody your story. When I would first get up on the thing, hey, let's take 5-10 minutes, connect somebody. It almost felt like church, but it wasn't church. It was just like, I think that's more important than just doing that on Sunday morning
without having any singing. Right?
Yeah. And so I just believe in that. And so I've always done it. When I worked at Academy Sports and Outdoors, I always tell the story of I would get to work just about anywhere. I would get to work early if I can, and go and talk to everybody, and then I would take notes about those people when I would walk away. So the next time I saw them again, I'd be like, "Oh, tell me about Sarah's soccer game. Last time we saw each other." But I would get to work, and so they would start calling me a politician.
The best salesman in the world.
A politician. And so, and then the more I was like, I guess I am politicking for G. Even though I don't come out and just say, hey, this is just for G. Right. But people will message me, or I'll get a note or something that asks, why do you do what you do? And so at the end of the day, that's...
Have you talked about politics? Have you thought about the politics?
So I ran.
You did?
I ran for state senate last year. Yeah. 2 weeks before the fouling, I fouled. Yeah. And I lost. Chuck Hall beat me, but it was a great experience.
Yeah. It's a money race, isn't it?
Oh,
sadly.
Yeah. It's definitely a money race. He's much better. He would be more suited for what we would think of a traditional politician than I am. He's in a much better place financially to serve in that way. All those things. He ran as a Republican. I ran as a Democrat. We still talk. I can open my phone. We still talk, and how can I pray for you? Right. We grab lunch, everyone. Again, I want to set an example that with most people, it sometimes doesn't look that way. So.
Would you run again?
No.
It was just time of the moment. It's the perfect timing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I think one of the things I learned is you definitely, for me, the reason I wanted to do it is because as a state senate, you get this district that's like, I can't remember how many people were in my district. 90,000, 100,000, something crazy. I'm like, I get to serve 100,000.
Yeah.
And I get to be connected to all these different towns. Like, to me, that's what got me fired up versus like statewide coming together. Because it's hard to make decisions in those settings with that many different people and thoughts and how they see things. Like, you can, I'm not discounting what they do, but I think I learned, like, I think I can still make a great difference just being who I am and doing what I do.
I think it probably, I get the sense you couldn't have been exactly who you wanted to be if you were in that position. Because like you said, you're a state representative and you all of that white tape that goes around and all that stuff, right? Yeah. You can't just roll up and be like, hey, come on the podcast, high five. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're probably rolling around with like an armed guard as you're high-fiving people, bringing them to an event.
And like, you gotta wear a suit. I was like, no, man, I just want to wear the same thing.
Yeah. When was the last time you wore a suit?
Oh my God, I haven't worn a suit since.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I didn't wear a suit a whole bunch then.
Yeah.
When I was running either. So when I would show up, he'd be in a suit. I'd be like,
what's going on, guys?
Yeah. And so, but of course, if I do a wedding or something like that.
Yeah, but that's true to you though, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Like if you'd shown up in a suit, the people who really know you would have been like, hang on a second, what is he trying to do?
Yeah. But the sad thing is, that's what people want.
Yeah.
They want you to almost not be who you are, be who they want you to be, versus just like, and again, I discount Chuck, like, I think he's great for the role, but like, people have seen me serve my city I feel like if there's somebody who has served their city, I think I've done it well, and to see that the way that I've served and everything, if you say like, no, I don't think he's for people, like, it's just crazy. Or and I understand what do you call it, the so Democrat versus Republican, all that stuff. I get all. I'm like, man, if people but it was great. It was a great experience. Like, I want more people to run. I would help other people run. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm sure, like, it's, and especially with kind of the diversity now that's in the Capitol building with I had Cindy Munson on a couple of months ago, and we were talking a lot about, she's the first Asian American to be in the state capitol.
Yeah.
And there's just so much diversity in there. It's good to see, and I think that it's going the right direction.
Yeah.
And I'm not really a huge fan of politics. I can't vote yet because I have a green card, but I'm not a resident, so I just don't care for it.
But it could be really beautiful though.
It can.
I think if we started positioning it to where it's about people and people serving. And again, I got to be careful with saying it. Like, I think that's some people's mindset.
Right, but
I just think that it could be really. I don't think it has to be what it is.
Well, they have all the budget stuff they have to deal with, and they can't always do what they want to do.
Yeah,
But, going back to talking about like not really wearing a suit, where do the red socks come from? Because that's your thing. Everyone knows you from like red socks, right? It's high fives. Who's going to be wearing red socks?
So I have always just liked red socks.
Yeah.
And then when I turned 45, I just made a list of things that I wanted to do or be consistent in for my 45th year of life. And so one of the things was just to wear red socks every day. But I think one of the big reasons is I knew that if I started doing that and posting it regular, people would ask me. Yeah. Like, people who probably wouldn't even always talk to me now have a reason to come up to me and be like, now tell me, they may follow you on social media, but they won't talk to you and they feel like they know you. But now they're like, tell me about the Red Sox. Like, what's up with the Red Sox? Yeah. And so it just gives me a right to kind of interact.
Everybody should probably do something like that.
Yeah.
Because like you said, they'll follow you on social media and they think they know everything about you, but then they never say a word to you.
Yeah.
And to that point, I kind of gone, over the holidays, I'm kind of going through people who like I follow, who follow me, and I'm like, I haven't spoken to this person ever.
Yeah.
Unfollow, get all the clutter out. So I apologize if you're listening and I've unfollowed you.
Yeah.
Come and speak to me. Come on the podcast. No, but it's just from like the short time of knowing you and meeting you at Creative Mornings, and when you send me that message, it's like, what do you do? I'm like, tell stories and play golf. I'm from Wales. Like, there's not much to like do. That's pretty simple, but we kind of connected pretty quick, right?
Yeah.
Chat and that intro that you gave me, I haven't had an introduction like that ever, which was quite good.
Do they have the introduction on the video? You don't think
Oh, they have it.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah, the whole video. Yeah. They even have bringing the coffee and waiting and like it's it's all on there. Right. That's who does the video. Just press record when everyone starts walking in and then, just cuts it at the end.
It's kind of like I do my video and podcast stuff. Like I just upload it and people will get to see that. It's kind of entertaining.
It is entertaining.
I think sometimes we discount just the realness, like how people are drawn to just real. Like sometimes we polish stuff up so much, and it's like that's not really the story.
Right.
The story's behind the scenes. We walked in, we chatted, and we decided on SD cards and all. Like to me, that's the kind of that's the stuff I like to see.
No, I agree and I've had times where like I've interviewed people and like their phone has gone off or they've done something and I just keep it rolling.
Yeah.
I'm just like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like I'm just going to be listening to it. And the pauses that you think last forever when you're interviewing someone, when you've heard them, they
it's like that wasn't the real.
It's no big deal. But man, this has been awesome. I really appreciate you inviting me up here. I love coming up here every time. Like I need more excuses to come up here, and I think a lot of people probably feel the same way. But it's you're doing the right thing. You love it here. You're a great ambassador, and I'm sure the city of Guthrie absolutely loves you as well. No doubt. After seeing people pulling over on the street to say hello to you this morning. But no, and it's been a good time. How can everyone reach out? How can everyone follow you and get involved?
Oh man, you can go to linksforheady.com and you can find everything there.
Okay.
Linksforheady.com.
Awesome. Well, great, man. I really appreciate it. Looking forward to hearing the reviews and people sharing the story and reaching out to you because I think if people don't want to come to Guthrie or they never find an excuse to, then find out where the next Creative Mornings is.
Yeah.
What is it, third Friday of the month?
Third Friday of the month, typically. I'll say typically because sometimes I think they change it up.
Yeah.
But Creative Morning is a great spot to come hang out and be around some really cool people.
Yeah, get some high fives.
Get some high fives.
Awesome.
Come on.
Great. Well, thanks for listening, guys. We'll catch you next week. Cheers. Awesome.
Legit.
That was good, man.